Kia ora and welcome, Graham Smith from Alec here. This last presentation takes you through what you need to know about the assessment task for the final section in our NCALNE Voc training, which is section 7. And this brings us to the end of the embedding cycle. So here's the big picture again, so you can see where you're up to. And as you know, you've worked through assessment tasks for the New Zealand context, through Māori literacy and numeracy, through mapping the demands of your course, using diagnostic tools, doing the actual embedding, and the last one, assessing your learners' progress. So we're up to the last stage here, which is number 7, which is the evaluation phase. So make sure you've got your assessment guide handy and your study guide. You may need to dip into those just to have a look at all the extra bits and pieces that you need to complete the assessment task. What do you need to know? You need to know what evaluation is about. And one question you should be asking yourself is, what's the difference between assessment and evaluation? And for our purpose, evaluation is about measuring effectiveness. And in this case, we're interested in your effectiveness as a tutor and a trainer, and in particular, your effectiveness delivering these literacy and numeracy interventions to your learners. The key question here is this one on the screen. What difference did this make? So we really want to see whether your embedded literacy and numeracy project work made a difference in some way to your learners. Just a couple of things to keep in mind. Your evaluation has 3 parts. So you need to involve your learners, your boss or your supervisor, and of course you need to have your own critical reflection of what you've done as well. There are some sample evaluation questions in the study guide. You can have a look at those. You might be able to just use them as they are, but feel free to adapt them if you want. But you need something. You need some kind of evaluation survey or questions that you can use with your learners. Now, if a written survey is going to be a problem because of the low level of literacy, then you might need to do more of a verbal evaluation with your learners. Perfectly fine if you want to get a colleague to come in and do it for you. Here's an example of a Likert scale. And this is the kind of rating scale that you might use with your evaluation questions. So you can see here my evaluation statement: the trainer was a good communicator, and then the instruction: please write your score for each question. And if you were filling out this survey for me, you would indicate 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And I've also seen this done with, smiley faces and thumbs up and thumbs down if you want to make it a bit more visual. So this is just an idea for you to have a think about in terms of putting together course evaluation questionnaires. This is a copy of the one that's in the study guide. This is reasonably comprehensive. Your organisation may have its own evaluation forms that are already in place, or if there's nothing, you might need to create something. So again, these are just ideas. You can use this as a jumping off point. Here's some other evaluation questions. These are open-ended questions. They would work as written responses, or they could be verbal questions. So these are the kind of questions that your learners can answer to give you the evaluation data that you need. So what did you find most helpful? What did you find challenging? What should we change? Any other comments? And that's a really quick, simple, easy to administer way of getting some evaluation data. So what do you need to do? A couple of things. Like the other assessment tasks, we have a template for this one. Your first stop should be to have a look at the assessment template, which is in the Alec assessment guide. And you can also download this from the Alec website. So the template guides you through certain areas, and basically you need to evaluate your project work. That's the work that you did over tasks 4, 5, and 6. You need to be critical, constructively critical, and reflective. So use the template, and one of the things you'll have to do to complete the course as well is deliver a short presentation. So if you're part of a group, you'll deliver that presentation to the group. If you're studying by distance, that might take place over the phone. And you can have a look at the assessment template to get an idea of the questions, but basically the questions are asking things like this: what did you do? How could you improve? What literacy and numeracy activities did you use? What results did you get? And what are you going to do next? That's a short, summarized version of the kinds of questions that are in the Task 7 evaluation component of this course. That's it in a nutshell, really. Not much more to talk about. I think if you've got any questions or you want to know anything further or you want to discuss this, please give us a call. You can send us an email. Happy to help. Thanks very much.